It's been nearly a week since the Rain Tree Fire in Northport first started, and local crews pulled together to work around the clock to put out the flames.
The fire is all but out for now, but with our ongoing drought and the scorching heat, firefighters had a serious challenge putting out the blaze while staying hydrated at the same time. ABC 7's Christopher Brantley has more on the support they received from a grateful community.
Good evening. Firefighters have been out here all week long making sure this fire doesn't light back up. And as they've been out here, members of the community have been rallying around to help them. This week, the power of the Northport Home Depot came in cases of water, saving firefighters time so they could do more.
I can only imagine what, our firefighters here locally were going through, going in and out of that blaze, all that gear on, so the first thing that came to my mind was they need water.
And water they got. Home Depot dropped off pallets of water and Powerade.
Oh my gosh, you cannot believe how this community responded to the call that was out there.
The Northport Home Depot is already very active in the community, but they saw a need last Saturday as the fires went out of control.
We hope it, rejuvenated them a little bit to know that, someone was thinking of them. They're the first ones running into a problem when everyone else is running out.
After that, the donations came pouring in, everything from non-perishable foods and drinks to pizzas being dropped off at the command post.
Just a thank you to everyone in our community, the citizens and the businesses, for coming out and supporting the firefighters.
Fire Chief Bill Taff was overjoyed talking about the impact the community donations had on his firefighters. But he got very serious when we talked about the current fire conditions.
We're very, very, very concerned with the conditions that we have presently.
With major rain not in the forecast, fire crews are keeping a close eye on the area and begging citizens not to start any fires. The Forestry Department will maintain a crew out here through the weekend just to make sure this fire doesn't light back up. In Northport, Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Christopher, thank you. Florida's third graders are scoring better than last year on a state test that helps determine whether or not they'll move on to the fourth grade. The Florida Department of Education announcing that 58% of third graders scored a 3 or higher on the state's language arts test. That's 4 percentage points higher than last year. Last year, a group of parents sued the state after their children were held back because they opted out of the reading test. That legal challenge is now pending before the Florida Supreme Court.
Correctional officers in Florida are set to get a raise. Under the proposed budget passed by the legislature last week, the officers will get a raise of at least $2,500. The starting salary for prison guards would also increase to a base rate of $33,500. The goal of the pay increase is to reduce employee turnover and fill chronically vacant positions. The proposed pay hikes would also allow the agency to recruit employees who would otherwise never apply because the work has lower pay.
We're telling those employees that have stayed with us that we appreciate what they're doing. The legislature sent a sign that we want and need experienced officers to work in our prisons and start to train those new ones coming up.
If approved by the governor, the pay raises would take effect on October 1st.
Next week, Sarasota County Commissioners will likely make a decision involving the effort to bring the Atlanta Braves spring training to Northport. The Braves in Sarasota County have finalized the details of the agreement. It includes how the construction of the new stadium will be executed. Commissioners in Northport want a stake in all of this so they can use the stadium in the off-season. The Director of Business and Economic Development for Sarasota County says that will not be a problem.
The public will be invited to use the public plaza as well as the multi-purpose fields essentially when it's not spring training and not being used by the Braves for their specific purposes.
If county commissioners approve the plan, it will head to the state for final approval. The county hopes the state will approve it by June 30th so construction can start. After that, the stadium would be built and ready by 2019.
We want to remind you of a major change at a busy intersection on the Suncoast. State transportation officials will implement the new diverging diamond traffic pattern at University Parkway and I-75 this Sunday morning. Crews will make the final lane shifts overnight on Saturday, and then on Sunday, drivers will use the diverging diamond pattern, which will shift both directions of University Parkway traffic to the opposite sides of the road for a short section. This will be the first diverging diamond in the state of Florida. I think my advice would be just keep following the arrows and keep driving.
Yes.
Because stopping or hesitating, that would be a bad situation when you're moving at those speeds. So it probably sounds more confusing than it is.
I think it is. They just follow the lines and the painted lines and so forth. Pay attention to the traffic lights, and I think everyone will be okay. I got my fingers crossed. It's all going to go well.
If it really does reduce accidents and traffic, that'll be great.
You can keep it moving too. You know, that's what I think. That's one of the big goals of it. Yeah. Let's get a check on our weather now. Some rain around the area. Here's Bob with more.
Yeah, some tough driving too. It's known as black ice here in Florida. What happens is that we don't have rain for a long period of time, and the oil from the cars and the exhaust obviously build up on the surface of the road. And then when the rains come, it kind of rises all that up to the top and causes very slick driving conditions. So I would not be surprised to see some folks having some issues with that right now along I-75 into Sarasota County near Northport. Also stretching up toward Lakewood Ranch. Another round. This is the second round of showers and has making their way through that area. Also up near Palmetto, some very heavy rainfall stretching up to, again, I-275 and the 75 junction there. That rain has been moderate to heavy near Rabonia. There's a lightning strike just occurred there. That rain goes all the way out to Holmes Beach. Siesta Key, pretty heavy downpour right now, and that stretches down, as I mentioned, down to Venice. Venice has had their fair share of rain already. Another round heading in your direction. Details on the weekend weather coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. President Trump will visit 5 countries in 8 days. All of this while there is still controversy at home. ABC's Maggie Rulli is in Washington with the latest accusations.
Hoping to put this week's scandals behind him, President Trump takes off on his first foreign trip as commander-in-chief, tweeting that he'll be strongly protecting American interests. That's what I like to do. It may be what he likes to do, but his laundry list of goals, like seeking peace in the Middle East and ending Islamic terrorism, will be facing an uphill battle, both from abroad and at home.
This very significant moment in Americans' history.
As back-to-back scandals continue to rock the White House.
Does anybody have any questions?
Just this week, accusations that President Trump leaked classified material to the Russians. Then a memo from former FBI Director James Comey claiming the president tried to interfere in the federal investigation into Russian election meddling. The next day, an announcement that a new special counsel will take the lead on that investigation and look into possible connections between Russia and the Trump campaign. The investigation is already underway, and now the Washington Post is reporting that someone close to the president has been identified as a person of interest.
I think the American people are still puzzled and we're still divided.
The man who appointed the special counsel, Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, spent a second day in a row briefing lawmakers behind closed doors.
I thought it was very informative.
Hopefully now we can move forward. The American people wants us to do things for them.
And a new report from the New York Times says that during his meeting with the Russians, President Trump called Comey a nut job and said that firing him took pressure off the investigation. The White House is not denying the report. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, Washington.
Disgraced former Congressman Anthony Weiner pleading guilty to exchanging sexually explicit text with a 15-year-old girl. Weiner apologized in federal court today, saying he destroyed his life's dream in public service, and says he will not appeal any sentence between 21 and 27 months in prison. As part of this plea agreement, Weiner will have to forfeit his iPhone, surrender his passport, continue mental health treatment, and cannot have any contact with the girl. His lawyer can request leniency at his sentencing, which is scheduled for September 8th. Weiner's political career ended after his penchant for sexting strangers became public.
People who kill police officers may soon face harsher punishments. Suncoast Congressman Vern Buchanan's Thin Blue Line Act. The bill passed the U.S. House yesterday and is on the way to the Senate. The bill would make the murder or attempted murder of a police officer an aggravating factor in death penalty determinations. 50 line-of-duty officers have been killed so far this year. Several police chiefs and sheriffs on the Suncoast are supporting this bill.
The last of 4 Confederate-related statues will be taken down in New Orleans, Louisiana. A prominent statue of Confederate General Robert E. Lee is being removed from public property. 3 other Confederate-era statues have already been removed. The city is responding to the removal with both joy and protest. New Orleans mayor says the removal will allow the city to heal and become the city we always should have been. Meanwhile, Alabama lawmakers have voted to prohibit any alterations to Confederate monuments or markers in their state. Still to come tonight on your Suncoast News, beating the sweltering heat by jumping into a pool.
But health officials say there may be something unpleasant lurking beneath the surface at public swimming pools. The warning from the CDC when we return.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
I heard about the Dotole Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotole Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
Rose takes her volunteering for Tidewell Hospice very seriously. But she knows how to have fun, too. And that's what she brings when we're invited to visit patients as part of Tidewell's pet therapy program. People love to see her. She really brightens their day. She makes people smile. And in end-of-life care, a smile can be a wonderful gift. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Nobody beats Subaru in service, quality, vehicle quality, and overall quality. And ALG named Subaru the 2017 top brand for residual value. Now lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback for just $229 a month. Or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School, serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Summer is almost here, and there's nothing like taking a dip when the weather gets hot. But there's a new warning from health officials about a pool-linked illness that's on the rise. With more, here's ABC News senior medical contributor Dr. Timothy Johnson.
Taking that cool plunge into a pool. It's one of the great joys of summer. But this week, the CDC issues a warning. New research showing outbreaks of the gastrointestinal illness caused by the microbe Cryptosporidium have doubled since 2014, cases rising threefold since 2004. The bug is resistant to chlorine and usually results when people swim in public pools when sick, the microbe infecting other swimmers when they swallow pool water. Fortunately, there is one simple tip you can follow to prevent the spread of the disease. If you've been sick with symptoms consistent with an intestinal bug, don't swim in public pools or at other aquatic facilities. Wait 2 weeks until after symptoms have stopped before swimming again in these venues. And if you're a swimmer who isn't ill, avoid swallowing pool water. Something to remember next time you take the plunge. With this Medical Minute, I'm Dr. Timothy Johnson.
Well, that's pleasant. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. Drivers are continuing to see some congestion along I-75 in both north and southbound lanes, and heavy delays backing up drivers near the interstate at University Parkway. Now let's head over to Bob. Bob, I might stick to the salt water.
Yeah, I was thinking about the same thing myself. Salt water seems to be a little bit better. Who knows? I tell you what, we are looking at some rainfall, which is much better for us here. And you mentioned the traffic problems along I-75 near University stretching down toward Fruitville. That may be to the fact that we have a lot of rainfall around. We've had a lot of rain in those areas, so that slippery condition causing some problems there. And we had a little bit of rainfall right there at Anna Maria Island, periods of showers kind of blowing on by, and then more on the way. We're going to see periodic showers, a few thunderstorms over the next hour or so. Then things should start to calm down a little bit, but we still see generating showers and storms in the eastern portions of Sarasota County working their way west. Had some heavy rainfall. Look at all that lightning now up near Palmetto, I-275. And Lakewood Ranch, there it is, from University southward down to Fruitville. And as I mentioned, more rain for Siesta Key right now, heading toward downtown Sarasota. So yes, it's around, more moisture in play, lightning now occurring as a result of the upper level parts of the atmosphere starting to moisten up a bit. Where the rain was heavy in Onico, it's over for right now, but more rain is anticipated as these showers push in that direction. And again, this particular area right here that you see, the storms have been as high as 30,000 feet, and that usually generates the lightning. That's what we're seeing right now. Rainfall amounts looking pretty good now, covering Northport, stretching up across Osprey and Siesta Key. Some areas not getting it quite yet, but they will in the next couple of hours as it heads off toward the northwest. So beneficial rains occurring. Unfortunately, lightning occurring with those, and it could cause some fires this weekend. 83 right now, some rain at the airport, and the dew point temperature at 72, barometer 2996. Another high temperature, another record high today, 97 degrees, topping the old mark of 95 set in 1938 that occurred right around 1 o'clock this afternoon. And then the clouds moved in and cooled things down, and the west coast breeze kicked in. So no 100-degree day today, but we still saw some very warm temperatures up and down west central Florida. And east winds will kick in again. They'll stay with us overnight. Tomorrow morning, east winds, and then we'll see those winds switch around to a westerly direction, which will allow for showers and storms to pop up once again tomorrow afternoon. So we're looking for that activity to be with us again tomorrow. There's a slight chance we may see a shower or two with the actual sea breeze moving in, but not much. Better chances come later on in the afternoon and evening. It should be a nice day for most of it. Just a little bit on the warm side with highs in the low 90s once again. Thunderstorms, severe weather, tornadoes from Texas, Oklahoma, all the way into Missouri tonight. And there are severe weather watches and warnings, and looks like tornado watch now in effect across Kansas again, stretching all the way to Missouri. These are tornado warnings that you see here in red near Springfield and also down south into Texas. Well, as far as boaters are concerned, tomorrow southeast winds start off a bit brisk, 15 knots, and then seas will be 5 to 10 knots. Seas running 2 to 3 feet with a moderate shot. And the high tide, 7:16, sunset at 8:14. The forecast tonight, scattered storms, some heavy rain, much needed rain, 72 for a low. And then tomorrow, look for a nice sunny start, a few showers and storms late in the day, a high of 91. The extended forecast is calling for showers and storms scattered about on Sunday, mainly inland on Monday and Tuesday. And a cold front comes in Wednesday, bringing some slightly cooler temperatures. Looking forward to that. Well, I didn't have much of a chance to go fishing, so I thought I'd check with my friend Steve Herrick out on the beaches and see what's being caught out there. Here's more. I can usually find him at the south end of Longboat Key with his clients fishing the groins or at the pass. And as I was walking up, Allison from Flagler Beach catches this nice flounder, and it only gets better from here. April, visiting from South Carolina, loves this place.
It's my favorite place in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on vacation. We'll be back in July.
And it got much better for her as she catches the first of many snook. There it is, nice catch.
Yeah, April did great with a pinfish. It's bait, nice little snook.
Now the smaller ones, Coach Steve nets from the pier.
Look at that, man. Holy moly.
But when someone hooks up a lunker, it's a whole new ball game. He's got to keep it from going into the pilings and cutting the line. So he opens the bail and lets the fish run out as the angler runs the other way to the beach. That way they have a better shot of landing the big ones, but sometimes it doesn't always work. But it did for his 12-year-old daughter, Brittany, who caught her first snook, and it was a biggie. And Mom was also enjoying the fun, bringing in another much bigger snook than the first one she caught. Husband and Father Tom was having just as much fun helping his daughter and wife land the fish. What a day. The water was just right and the snook were hungry as they kept bringing them in, and so did Brittany as she gets this one all on her own. So Dad took his kid and wife fishing. Hopefully one day they'll take him. That was her first catch of a snook. Can you believe that? Right on the beach, right there. Those are lunkers. And here she is again. This is Allison. They went out again today, talked to Coach Steve, and he said, you know what? They just kept coming. And Scott just asked, what do they use for bait? I was catching the bait yesterday. Pinfish. They were munching on pinfish, and boy, they were eating a lot of it. And there is Dad, Tom, with Steve on the right. Tom's a big guy. He's from Flagler Beach, and that's a big snook. Obviously, they had to throw those back in because
Right.
you know it's out of
not
season.
the season, right.
It's almost like the snook know that season is no longer around, so we can start eating. And I don't know. It seems odd. Can't catch them
They
when they're
know
in
that
season.
they're going to go back in,
Yeah,
so they're
yeah.
okay. Okay.
Well, I know where I got to go to catch
Yeah,
a snook. huh?
absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. If you plan to make a trip this Memorial Day weekend, do expect to be in some traffic. AAA expects more than 39 million Americans to travel more than 50 miles for the unofficial start of summer. That's nearly 3% more than last year and the third straight year of increases. More than 88% of those travelers will drive to their destinations. AAA says the jump is due to increased confidence in the U.S. economy.
Florida's unemployment rate is dropping again. State officials announcing the unemployment rate dipped to 4.5% in April. That's slightly lower than March, when the rate was 4.8%. The state's unemployment rate remains slightly higher than the national rate. Both Manatee and Sarasota counties, however, remain under 4%.
Robots are taking over the working world. They have already cost millions of factory jobs across the U.S. Now they could wipe out millions of retail positions. A study by Cornerstone Capital Group finds robots could replace 6 to 7.5 million jobs over the next 10 years. So do expect to see fewer cashiers and more automated checkout lines. And stocking shelves and inventory control will also be made more efficient with automation. The study also found the rising wages are helping drive this automated trend. I'm okay with some of it. Like now I've seen when you go into Panera, you can just, order
Right.
your meal right there. But then sometimes when you have a full grocery cart full of groceries and you're doing that all by yourself,
Yeah.
it takes a long time.
It does. What do you think? Our job one day?
It's a robot. Hey, if I could get a robot to do my hair and makeup, I'm totally fine. As long as they don't take my
Yeah.
actual job, I'm cool with that.
Entertainment news is next.
Fresh out of the box, the Alfa Romeo won us over. We went in skeptical and left in awe of this gorgeous machine. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wanna Be Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabeinn.com.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
It's Lincoln's summer sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sports Utility for $249 per month or 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We are proud to introduce the newest addition to the Lincoln lineup, the all-new 2017 Lincoln Continental. We have a great selection and ready for immediate delivery. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sunny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
What Florida city is best known for spaceflight?
Cape Carnival.
Cape Carnival? Close enough. What condiment includes vinegar, molasses, and anchovies?
Westchester sauce.
Close enough. And now, a word from our sponsors.
One-off from the Florida Lottery. Now available for pick 2, 3, 4, and 5 games. Miss by 1 on any or all numbers and still win.
It does things that seem impossible. Feeling like it could change direction while airborne. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Don't forget to tune in this Sunday night for the Billboard Music Awards.
The Music Awards show will be right here on ABC7. Cher will officially become an icon, as if she already wasn't, with the presentation of the Billboard Icon Award and a performance of her biggest hit, Believe. It will be her first award show performance in more than 15 years. Previous Icon winners include Celine Dion and Prince. There may also be a tribute to Chris Cornell, the Soundgarden frontman who died earlier this week. The younger sister of Kate Middleton is getting married on Saturday. Pippa Middleton will marry 41-year-old financier James Matthews at St. Mark's Church in Inglefield, Berkshire. The Duchess of Cambridge, Prince William, and their children, Prince George and Princess Charlotte, will be there, looking very cute, I'm sure. Also attending is Prince Harry and his girlfriend, actress Meghan Markle.
A record-setting sale of a piece of American artwork. A Japanese billionaire paid the highest price ever at auction for a painting by an American. An e-commerce tycoon bought a painting by Jean-Michel Basquiat for $110.5 million. That tops the $105 million paid back in 2013 for an Andy Warhol painting. Only 10 other works have sold for more than $100 million.
And Scott, you were saying this is not typical for this artist. He hasn't sold something at this level before.
He died quite a few years ago from a drug overdose, but his previous high sale prior to this was about $24,000.
Wow. Wow.
So for some reason, they've gone way up in value.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.